She was the first person to reach out and introduce me to people. She met my mom, who still asks about her from time to time. She says hi, by the way. I feel a special kinship with her as a fellow Midwesterner. But also, we've been desk mates this last year. And a desk mate is kind of like a roommate, but at work. So it has all the potential to be especially awkward. Sharing space with this one, however, has been a special joy. I'll truly miss seeing her at our desk where she could be found at any given moment, even during my office hours. But that is something that I will truly miss. Please welcome my dear friend and our esteemed former Neon Lit president, Becky.
I'm sorry about your office hours. I'm sorry. I'm so happy to be here, and I really want to thank my cheering section, which traveled from very far to come here. So my parents and my other parents and my two best friends and my sister, who are all here. But I also really love everyone here, and I'm going to miss you guys so much. And I didn't prepare anything to say, but just don't leave. I just won't leave. That's the solution. We'll all stay. BMI will give us all jobs, and we'll just stay here. I like that plan. That sounds wonderful.
For like $5,000.
Yeah. So while I was here, when I started writing, I wrote a lot of flash fiction, and I really wanted to write a novel, and I did write a novel, so that was really exciting. So I'm going to read from my novel, which is about 3 teenage girls who try to undermine their Christian theater group's production of Godspell with the slightly edgier music and theology of Jesus Christ Superstar. So I'm going to read from the beginning of the novel. It's when they decide to do this. It's not really about that. It's about like friendships and exploring sexuality and all that other stuff. But this is like the driving force, I guess, of the novel. And so I'm going to read from the beginning when they decide to launch this insidious attack. And so all you really need to know is that Mel is the narrator, and her 2 best friends, Angie and Jane, they've been best friends basically forever. So I'm going to read from the beginning. Here we go. Glossy porcelain doll eyes. That's how you know they're drunk. Angie told me Ryan told her that, and I think he's right. When we go see bands at the VFW, the kids with murky water bottles have eyes like that. So do the paunchy old men who've been swinging clubs all afternoon at the range, empty cans clustered at the edge of the AstroTurf, and Dad bringing them another one from the cooler. On TV, Jesus has porcelain doll eyes, but they're squinty ones, each looking a different direction while he tries to manage his rowdy disciples. We're watching Jesus Christ Superstar again, the 1973 feature film starring Ted Neely, who's still playing Jesus on stage, even though he's old and paunchy enough to fit in at the driving range. I hear he can't sing the high parts anymore. We lug the TV from Angie's room to the basement bathroom so she could bleach her hair while we watch. Jane has plastic gloves on and a paintbrush in hand. Angie's leaning her head back over the side of the tub, and her voice comes out strained from the angle as she sings along. What's the buzz? Tell me what's a-happening. What's the buzz? Tell me what's a-happening. Disco Jesus is happening, I say. Damn right he is. She tugs her chin toward her chest to look at me. Disco Jesus is far superior to hippie Jesus. It's true, at least in my opinion. I like Godspell, but the music in Jesus Christ Superstar is way better. When people think Andrew Lloyd Webber, they think the tacky 1980s, synthesizers and electric drums, puffy sleeves, puffy hair, puffy everything. But before that, he was a disco king. Jesus Christ Superstar has these scratchy, looping guitar riffs and dancey drum beats, and it's all accented with these swooping, billowing string parts. It's a freaking masterpiece. Plus, the storytelling is more dramatic. In Godspell, Jesus is just goofing off with his disciples, dressed like a clown, singing about parables, and then he randomly dies, and you're supposed to care. In Jesus Christ Superstar, Jesus is praying in the Garden of Gethsemane, and he's all up in his falsetto, see how I die! And it's like, oh man, he is really dying. So good. I wish we could do Jesus Christ Superstar at Joyful Noise, I say. Jane stretches some plastic wrap from the box. That'd be awesome, but it'll never happen. Maybe if they cut King Herod and Pontius Pilate out of the story entirely. That's the advantage of Godspell. You can tell the whole story of Jesus without anyone killing him. One brief song on a chain link fence, and then it's all resurrection and smiles. Angie snorts, or maybe the bleach is burning her head. God, can you imagine that casting? And in the role of the Roman soldiers who whipped Jesus to a bloody pulp, we have, stop moving, I don't want to get bleach on you. Aren't you supposed to be an artist? Aren't artists supposed to be precise? You couldn't get bleach on me if you tried. Want to bet? I spin around to face them, twisting the bath mat up in the process. If they did do it, though, who would you want to play? That's the other problem with it, says Jane. Girls can play Mary Magdalene or Mary Magdalene. I don't know, says Angie. You could probably gender flip a lot of the disciple parts. Stop moving. I say, I want to play Judas. Judas is easily the best role in Jesus Christ Superstar. He's not evil, first off. He cares about Jesus, probably more than some of the other disciples. He's just worried that the Romans are going to crush their whole movement if they aren't careful, which is understandable. Sure, he doesn't think that Jesus is God, but why would he? If Angie decided she were God, I was going to say I'd get her some help, but honestly, I'm surprised she hasn't proclaimed herself God already, just to piss people off. Judas has the best songs in the musical. His opening number, Heaven on Their Minds, is amazing. The melody is desperate and fearful and angry and loving all at once, like a human being. Bitch, you're too cute to play Judas. Angie splashes me, so I grab a towel off the rack and snap it at her ankle. Jane does not appreciate the spectacle. I'm trying to watch the movie. Stop, please. What if we did perform it, though? Angie's head emerges, the top half mummified with plastic wrap. I hand her the towel for later. Are you suggesting that the three of us put on a production of Jesus Christ Superstar alone, in the garage, like when we were little? We had quite the repertoire. A bold reimagining of 101 Dalmatians that substituted assorted Beanie Babies for dogs. An original one-act in which a popular breakfast cereal turned out to be deadly. Yes, it was called Serial Killer with a C. And our annual Christmas production, an unlikely sequel to The Nutcracker. She smushes the makeshift turban to make squelching noises. The RFCs hate Jesus Christ Superstar, right? And what's more fun than pissing off RFCs? RFCs, robots for Christ. Our term for the so Jesus-y it's gross kids at Joyful Noise. I still don't get it, as in we put on a competing production, or I'm just thinking we sing it here and there at rehearsals, corrupt the youngins by telling them all about this other cool Jesus musical, burn CDs. I even have the soundtrack right here, you can borrow it. All insidious. She laughs like a maniacal cartoon villain. I could be into that, says Jane, sort of like performance art. The Disco Jesus Project, I suggest? Oh my God, yes. Angie hugs me, plastic wrap sticking to the side of my face, the force of her arms reorganizing my internal organs. Let's challenge those fucking hippies to a dance-off. They don't stand a chance. And just like that, we're in another club. I don't think Angie and Jane and I have ever not been in a club. First, we had a pretty solid witches' coven, holding seances with Jane's brother's Ouija board and making potions with whatever wildflowers we could find in the woods behind my house. After that, we were photographers, then pastry chefs. For a while, we had a band, but it broke up due to artistic differences. Angie wanted to take it in a riot girl direction a la Bikini Kill, while Jane wanted a more experimental Bjork vibe. I was happy with either, as long as I could sing backup and play tambourine. Most recently, we started a book club, as Angie and I were dissatisfied with the timid English curriculum at Our Lady of Sorrows. Jane goes to public school, lucky lady. I always worry we're going to grow out of this stuff, but it never happens. We are hobby-prone, pastime-obsessed, devotees of the extracurricular activity. Good old Neely's still singing on the TV. Why should you want to know? Why are you obsessed with fighting? Times and fates you can't defy. If you knew the path we're riding, you'd understand it less than I. Thank you.